Thanks for staying with us. So, because today's Thursday, we've had our conversation on what was hot, but now it's always good to discuss and reflect on issues of relationships, family, and loved ones. So, we're having our guest, our own friend of the house, Mr. Akatugba, in the building. Welcome to the show.
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm a bit nervous.
Right.
You know why?
Why?
You know, coming to have company of you in this wonderful place. I want to say to the people at home that the cameras are not doing justice. The women in this room are awesome that I'm now beginning to be nervous. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much,
and to enjoy this moment of interaction with you.
Thank you very much. So we wanted to come to you concerning the issue of marriage, because we haven't discussed this in a while. It's been a while we talked about marriage, and women, says most women before their marriages, they look great for their men. You know, they do all the paparazzi, you do your nails, you look pretty, you know, you look really attractive. And after marriage, life happens, you know, you have the kids, you know, you are doing 2 jobs, you are doing so many things, you don't have time to keep up. And there's a whole new community of what they call them, these side chicks. They are ready. There's a market. There's a whole community of them waiting. And women are feeling threatened today. And what can I do to sustain that which I started before marriage? How do you advise women out there to start this, to begin this process?
Lovely. This is, when I saw that this is what you want to talk about, I reflected upon it. And I'm not unfamiliar with the realities of it. First of all, every woman had the goal set in mind that I want to get married. And therefore, you need to attract as many in order to have that one that will set eyes upon you. So they go all out, they look the best, they keep the best. But once the marriage is done, the word is, I have settled. And once a woman says, I've settled, then what else are you doing after settlement? You have settled, which means you are now at home. So some women tend to lose guard because marriage throws upon you quickly responsibility and duty.
Good.
It is this duty, this responsibility that makes a woman feel old. It's called, when a man is responsible, he acts old. He acts matured. When a woman has responsibility in front of her, because she's constantly thinking of how next do I conquer this responsibility. Some get pregnant so quickly before they even start enjoying the marriage. And the child comes in. She sees the child growing before her. Evidence of the growth of the child is a reminder that this child is getting old and you are getting old as well. So she also, domestic upkeep, her work, her family, all that. So she constantly says, I'm not getting younger. I'm feeling old. So adventurism takes the backstage. When a woman wakes up in the morning, she thinks of the welfare of the home, while the man could be thinking of her curves. She doesn't see nothing except to meet up those responsibilities. So these are the things that even when the woman doesn't say, I'm old now, the man begins to see a placid wife, no more excited about these things that excited them before they got married. And that disappoints men a great deal today.
But shouldn't that be a phase every man must say, okay, this is the phase I am in? I mean, that's reality, that's life. Life happens. You're not a child forever. There's a stage in your life where, yes, your wife goes through this process, and because you've decided to marry, that's the phase you are in. Take it.
And, you know,
accept it.
It also said the topic is, why is it that women are no longer young and youthful? I mean, if you married me in 2011, 2021, 10 years more. So it's just fact. I have grown older. I cannot remain young forever. Everybody has that stage. And then also, when you have the responsibilities that you mentioned and the duties that you mentioned, I remember then when I was without kids and single, you would wake up anytime, you would sleep. Oh, I need to get some sleep, and you would get that sleep because you've been up all night. But then I remember when I had the babies, I always say that the pregnancy is not even half of the job. When the work starts is that moment when you have your baby. You're not sleeping. Sometimes you not sleep 24 hours, depending on the cycle, the time frame for your own child. From the moment you have that child, it's go. Work, 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 work. Some people now do not have the support of the husband. Some husbands are supportive. Get some sleep, I'll hold the baby. Or you sleep this night, I'll wake up, you know. And then you that you don't support the wife, then you now come and say, you are not looking youthful. You are not young. Uncle, where were the things that you're supposed to do to help me be youthful and young for you?
Look at the point she just enumerated. She enumerated the things that are her natural responsibilities. And she called upon the husband now to help her in this responsibility in order for her to look younger. That's what she's saying. But let us first look at why are you reminding the man that I'm old when the man is looking for a youthful wife? What is the reason? There are natural responsibilities that you have to undertake. You are not oblivious of them. You had some responsibilities as a young woman. So before you married, even with your own personal responsibilities, you still kept your game. Because some women have become mothers before they got married. Hmm? Yes, inheriting their siblings.
Yes.
Some women inherited family responsibilities. Parental dysfunction, the home financially not good. They were paying bills before they found a husband. They still look sparkling in her dates. She was never caught unawares because she was still chasing that marriage crown. Men are feeling defrauded because when I speak to them, they feel devastated and they just find some gentlemen who look supportive, but they found a way. They are nice and proper, so they keep quiet. I'm a man of wisdom, so let me do my thing. Mm. Others are very monogamous in their nature and in their disposition and undertaking. So they are resentful and they hate and dislike their wife. And they feel very sad. Mm. If you hear the things they say behind the scene about the very wife they love, you will be shocked. But because they have avowed that they want to be monogamous, they tend to, that it plays out in their conversation. Sometimes when friends are around, there are harsh words that are exchanged.
Like what kind of words?
For example, words of bitterness. They will begin to make complaint. We call it, they're making complaint about every other thing that doesn't concern you. Oh, women, they are not good. You know their life, you know the way they behave. It's the wife is talking about. But is unhappy. So naturally, okay.
This is
women
where I see the problem.
Okay.
I think men should deal with their own insecurities and inconsistencies clearly. So I have sat with men, and all I hear is, she's looking too young. She's refusing to be a wife. Since I married her, she's insisting on being a young girl. This is for a woman who is outward, who takes care of herself, who is always there, you know. And then she finally covers up everything. She's indoors. I don't know, she's beginning to look old, look too old for me. She's not, you know, she's not taking care of herself anymore. Confusing this woman. I had a woman who totally bleached her skin because she was supposed to be a fair girl when she was married. And now she's looking so dark. But she was hormonally, she was reacting to childbirth and all of that. And this man does not even have one inkling on what is possibly happening to the body of the wife and everything. You know, you just want to eat your cake and have it. In life, you know, marriage, having children, starting a family is entirely a process. And it is not a woman's business to not only appear good for you, have your children for you, breastfeed them, raise them for you and everything. There's a part that you have to play. If your mother, when she had you, was young, and then she was growing old, and then at some point dealt with old age illnesses, and you were able to be patient through it, and then you ask your wife, how old is she? It's your wallet that is leading her there. She had stroke. I don't even understand this woman. And I tell her to take it easy. But the issues that she's dealing with that she's overworking her, they don't take care of themselves. And you are looking at them, she's looking at them, no miracle will happen. So you work and over. Let's understand. These conversations, when men have it, and you sit with them, do you tell them that, Oga, this is life? If you had your car too will age, and you eventually have to, you know, do something about it. So how do you talk to men?
Beautiful. This is why I started by letting them know that these are natural responsibilities. I've seen a young man who was devastated. They had a good idea that they would travel, go to Dubai, they would have great fun. The woman got married with the first night outing. The first 3 months of the marriage, this woman was a wreck. Everywhere, she was sick. She was not, the early morning sickness, she couldn't handle them very well.
Everything.
It even went on to affect the mother-in-law's relationship with them because on one occasion, she was so angry, she threw a knife at the husband. And the mother-in-law was offended because she was just mismanaging her early morning sickness. From that day on, in the next 5, 6 years, the marriage was terribly charged because the guy could not mature to understand that with this pregnancy that have come in this way, is throwing away all your dreams of honeymoon. The woman is changed forever.
So marriage is for mature people.
Yes.
How do we get?
Now,
how do we raise our boys to get that maturity?
This is the discussion we're having now.
Yeah.
Those who are listening, some are not aware that first, he said, it is not the pregnancy that is the big deal. But when we read the Bible to people, say God says you shall have difficulty in childbirth. They think cesarean have come to cure that. No. The process of weaning a child is a debilitating process. Women have now added more to this natural by adding unnatural responsibilities, like chasing economic means. Have now added. In the process, Satan has also intervened to cripple the man so that the whole load becomes of the woman. And that woman now still needs to look young for a man that's looking for a young wife. You see, it's a matrix that we have. It's called, we've built a web of difficulty for the woman. So the woman is constantly in search of when will I have a lease of good life. Most times she loses everything. She suddenly discovers I'm old. I live up my life for everyone else but myself.
So how do we retrace our... I like the way you analyze this. So how do we retrace our steps? Like, so women really, the ideal situation is a woman really not to work.
That is the
Stay
ideal.
in the house.
That is the spiritually structured situation.
Where you just stay home and look pretty, look beautiful, look young for your husband.
You are depleting every day. You are depleting, even in your menstrual cycles, depletes a woman. The blood she sheds, those not ordinary blood, but menstrual blood, is a higher order. 2, she gives. She's last to eat. She eats the crumb. The food is not enough, everyone else eats. She doesn't sleep well. A baby is ill. She's the one that loses sleep. She's the one that stays in hospital. She's the one that worries. These things are depleting her. That's why you see a husband, and when the married man was 5 years older, when you see wife, sometimes you say, I have met a couple. You say, who is the mother? I met a couple here in Lagos. And I was telling the woman before I said, please tell your son.
Oh, Lord.
It was one of the biggest embarrassments of my life. Tell your son to pick this thing for us. He said, that's my husband.
Hey.
The difference, she looked old, but the man looked young. Whereas the man in age is 5 years older.
Wow.
Imagine that.
That means he's enjoying.
Yes, now. Because let's be real. I mean, let's be real. These things are happening. Where your husband, they think your husband is younger than you because you're carrying so much burden. So we need to retrace our steps.
There's this part of men even taking for granted.
That burden, part of the burden is actually the pregnancies. The carrying pregnancies is no easy feat. It takes from the woman. And then looking after the babies after they are born.
Yes.
So a woman that has 4 children now, you must remember that they are your children.
They are the evidence of the old age you see, right?
Yes, they are your children. They are not just her children. They are both our children. And I sacrificed by giving birth to those children for you. So you should appreciate me and look at me as a golden...
So I agree with you, YK.
Do you know that before I ever had my babies, I used to think that pregnancy, when it happens, there's a little pouch that would, it will grow big, but all your organs will just still remain normal. And I found out that the pregnancy will squeeze up all the organs in your body. I mean, I did not realize that until I became pregnant. I'm like, really? So how do people even eat? You know how sometimes you eat and you're a little bloated, and then you're pregnant, and that bloating happens on top of the pregnancy? So I think for me that we need to have a class where we're teaching these men the realities of life.
Miriam, I ate so much when I was pregnant that I used to think my stomach was going to burst. Burst open because I was just...
Yeah. So look at
that doesn't happen to a man, but a man gets pregnant.
Never know that.
A man gets pregnant without even having
look at what you have described.
Nobody complains.
Women
they say they are still young.
Yeah, women are fulfilling their calling. where the problem is that they do not understand the man's calling. We have been talking about your natural.
Your duties.
Let's now look at the man's calling and his expectation that is clashing with this.
Okay.
His makeup, because that's where we are going now.
Yes.
Because it's to the man. A man is always detached from the children physically. He's spiritually connected, but he's physically detached.
Okay.
A child that is sick, a father doesn't have the empathy the mother has, the feeling of not sleeping. The father will sleep off now, but the mother will remain awake. All these are natural responsibilities. But what we have not dealt with is who is the man?
Okay.
And why does he act like this? Remember that God said to him that he is not good to be alone.
Okay.
And then if you read the Bible, 1 Corinthians 5, verse 1 says, in order to avoid fornication, marry. So a man entered marriage for that duty to ensure that he procreates and also that he keeps warm. Because he couldn't do that with animals. God now brought the woman. So his desire for his wife is constantly the same till they die. He feels frustrated and disappointed to see her wither, but his eye is not set upon the gains. He's set upon his pleasures. My pleasure must be met. And that's my sexual pleasure, which is the biggest need of a man. That is the biggest need of man if you study marketing and all that. So what are we saying? When a man is seeing his wife wither, he's heartbroken. Because the excitement of romance, you need erection. Without an erection, all this discussion on marriage has ended. I'm sorry for the use of that word. It is
a safe word.
Yes. A man loses his erection over time as things begin to go this way. He loses excitement. A man called me. He said, I want to say to you, sir, when my wife is even naked in the room, I am no more excited. I see her old. I am not. But when my girlfriend calls me on phone,
You already have a choice.
in fact, on phone, only her voice. What can I do?
What did she not do?
so
You should marry the girlfriend.
She knows a fornicator or adulterous man.
It will be the same.
you see the matter. A man is a beast when he's not cultivated properly because he has a good side. Once it's mismanaged, he shows the other side.
Let me pause you for a second. I'm going to quick break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So I'm told that TVC on cable is going to go, TVC News actually is going to live they have a live coverage right now, so we'll be going off. But however, TVC Entertainment on GOTV will continue, and also online on Facebook would continue. Right, we're back with our guest, Mr. Akatugba. So there were these things where people were saying that women go old inside the house and they look young outside. Me, I know I would admit myself. When I enter the house like this, I remove my wig. Because the wig already all day, I go straight to the bathroom, wash off the makeup. I want to be comfortable. I take off these tight-fitted dresses that I have to wear for the show, and I look for something comfortable, and I wear it, and I'm okay. And if I remove the undergarments, replace it with a more comfortable one that doesn't have any wires around me, so I think I can be free. Is that a crime?
No, it's not. But I think, I am in a relationship. I'm not married in the conventional way.
She's not now.
Go ahead.
I said in the conventional way.
Go ahead.
Don't listen to Lima.
So, what I believe is, yes, you do need to make yourself feel comfortable, but I don't think it should be 24/7. I think, because, yes, I make myself feel comfortable, but I also want my partner to desire me. And even if for the first 3-4 hours, I've let myself go, I'm just lying like this. When I have my bath, I will just touch up small makeup, do my hair, wear kini, and then...
Really?
But would you say that the uniqueness of your relationship affords you the luxury to be able to do that?
Because you don't have children
You have
running
no
around.
children running
Because we're in a
around.
different
You haven't
phase.
just picked up a child from school.
She's
taking,
honeymooning, right?
She's honeymooning right now.
I'm telling you.
She's just having fun.
We can't compare us to you.
Yes.
I agree.
different-
No,
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then the
Because
marriage.
right now I'm looking after my 2 grandchildren.
You didn't get that time,
I
right?
don't have that time.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Exactly.
that's it.
Mr. Akatugba,
The
help
word
us.
marriage is like a crown of accomplishment as well. So they are not on the road to that. They are on the road of the fun part. So she's in the courtship
For life.
area. So she's able
Courtship
to...
for life.
Courtship,
For life.
it's always...
So for people like
creating-
us in our own category, how do you help our ministry?
Now,
We
how
are
you help...
raising and nurturing.
One of the things that men feel devastated about, which they commonly say, is the fact that even those women that others praise, that they look young outside, if the husband describe what they see inside, according to her language, some women are not very they take for granted these things because they don't know that a man is excited by sight, especially men who go to work in public offices. I've been to your
You see
studio,
so much.
and I see the way women are clouded fancifully with all manner of attraction. And these young men, we are all of us, we go home to a woman that is deliberately feeling relaxed and looking old to us. You know, you can imagine.
Why can't she look old?
No, she's
men too are not looking good.
because she's not.
That's where we're headed.
Yeah, we're going to get
Uh-huh.
there. She's not thinking of what the man is confronted on a daily basis. So the man is confronted with an avalanche of proposals. According to Morayo, he said they are a community of side chicks now. And those ones are very ferocious. And what is even making it difficult is that 19 years have joined it.
But Mr.
From
Akatugba,
19, they are very active. 18 years.
Mr. Akatugba,
Yes, ma'am.
men, okay, I particularly say to my husband, because genetically, if you to get big belly, I say to my husband, don't get to that big belly stage. I'm not joking. Because I see genetically himself and my son. And when I birth my children, they come like that. They will get the pot belly at some point. And I always watch out for him to not have it. And I put the effort. I'm the reverse of the case. I will go to the salon, make my hair, cover it up. When I get home, I will now display. And I have the time to do it 24 hours. So I don't allow visitors in and all of that. But then at some point, somebody forgets and tells me it's too much. You know, it's effort. And he forgets, it's waiting. No, they tire you. Do you understand? So, I think it's the men not knowing exactly
What they want.
No, men know what they want.
No, they don't know.
Let me explain. Those things you are displaying, does it end up in the benefit of the man? Or you
All
are
the
just
time.
displaying? I
All
show
the time.
Because
All
you
the
display
time. Just
to
like a plate of
a woman dresses
served food.
up to look good, not necessarily to attract any man. She does not think sexually about her dress.
Yeah.
But our job and our wire is to see,
And
conceive, and seek to enjoy.
Yes.
You see the point? So this
And they
point,
should have more in the house now.
good. Now, so what she said is beautiful. When a woman makes the effort to look beautiful at home, it's called an entertainment that a man enjoys.
Why you are minding your business?
Men want to be entertained. That's why when they meet a young woman who has no cares,
Yeah.
she doesn't know the school fees the man has not paid. She has no idea of the bills that are piled up because the woman is constantly helping the man absorb his problems. Oh, car spoil. This side of the man to worry, the woman is worrying for him. Hey, where will they get money to fix this car? And if they fix the car with the school fees, her rent is also due. The man is reminded constantly of the wahala of life by his wife who cares about him. But the girlfriend, who's side chick, doesn't know half of this problem.
But she's part of the problem.
She doesn't see herself, she sees herself as a solution provider to get a benefit.
That benefit that is giving her, the benefit is giving the side chick. If he was using it
In the house.
The man,
half of the problem he has,
a man
he will not have it.
seek entertainment. He can sit down after closing, drink 6 bottles of beer, and you call him that we need to get angry.
The way you have described it,
Let's finish in this point. That so men should not get carried away when they see a side chick that is doing the acrobats, because she doesn't know you much. A wife demystifies you. You are no more a mystery.
reality demystifies.
So because of that, she is also worried about the future of the home and the family.
So, Mr. Akatugba, let me jump in here. So, some men will say, since this side chick is just what it is, a side chick, Shouldn't my wife be understanding that, listen, yes, you are going through this phase as a mother, nurturer, and everything. Allow me exert my energy to decide to, because she's just temporary. She's not here permanently.
She's spending this hour money.
Why can't wives accept and understand that this is just a phase, that my husband will be all right?
Okay, let's just do reality check. If you, to afford a side chick, some of the finances that would come to the house that will make life easier for you would be shared with side chick. Secondly, you describe a ferocious side chick. Some of them will have babies, so you're not going to have children, siblings for your children. Before you know it, you have 2 households. Money is being split. So I guess that's why the wife would not be comfortable, even if it's not about, jealousy or love, but, you know, it would affect the fabric of our family. We would not be able to take care of our family if you're,
good response.
If you have other responsibilities outside.
Right. Yeah. Fantastic.
Good. You see, the point you've raised is so beautiful. The point is, you've seen the reality. What do we now do? Like you have said, should the women not understand that the man now need to satisfy this is entertainment that he seeks, which you are not able to provide because of the obvious challenges you face. The risks are numerous, so you have to count the cost, like she said.
Yes.
There are costs to every decision a man makes. We now go to what do we do? Because this is our reality. What we should do is that we should reduce as much as possible as women the burden that you put upon yourself. Sometimes we worry too much about what is not problem. Women they are so particular about security. They are so particular about pride of what my friends will say. So they place upon themselves a burden that doesn't have anything to do with them. People are too materialistic today. We compare ourselves with ourselves. This one has done this, you want to do the same. This one's school fees is high. It's actually school fees, not the content of the school now that we are competing with.
I agree with you.
So women are also too quick to absorb their man's problem. If there is school fees that is due, leave the school fees to the man and provide him what he needs to get the money for the school fees. A man that is not well entertained, a man that doesn't have good sex with his wife is a low performer. He will not perform well.
That's at work?
Yes, yes. Anywhere in his life. He will not think well because he's sexually deprived.
What if he's having it outside?
If he's having it outside, he's also not happy that his legal one is not providing it. So you become like a shrine that has outlived your usefulness in his mind.
Okay. Can I take some tweets?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
It says, Powerful Restorer say, most times the women age because their brains are not clear. They are thinking so many things, especially when the men are not responsible. I don't know, did you read this one? Please tell your guests the realities he highlighted are the reasons Allah orders men to compensate women monetarily in Islam for their efforts, even for feeding the baby for 2 years.
Yes.
Okay, this
They're
person
supposed
says...
to be paid. They did not pay me all.
Josiah, let me read this.
Quincy J. Employing other vices like a side chick, side bobos is chickening out. Who said it would be easy? Married couples should talk more and deal with problems.
Okay.
What did I do?
Okay, let me
deal with problems like they do when they are faced with challenges at work. If possible, have weekly meetings and talk. Sorry.
Okay, Josiah says, I remember reading somewhere that when wives are dearly loved and deeply appreciated by their husbands, they not only feel better emotionally, but they also look better physically. Reason, this love and appreciation shows itself in supportive action. Then Ogumola says, there's lots of responsibilities that come with marriage, childbearing, domestic chores, her career, and other activities she might want to engage. I just had my daughter, and I see firsthand why a lot of women neglect their personal upkeep. My wife is worn out.
Men will not come to accept it, even though we discuss it. Man is made. If you look at the Bible, it said they wanted to test if David was already old and dying. How did they do the test? They brought a woman to him, a young one. Men are...
Did he react?
He didn't touch the woman. So they now noticed that this man of a truth, his days are over. So men are not going to change. What men can only do now is to provide the best environment for the wife. Because today the woman is chasing one big project, economic means. That is the unnatural cause she's engaged in now.
So can we...
And that is what is even...
That's unnatural cause.
Yes, that's what is debilitating her the most. Because if a woman stays within the confine of her home to do business and make a little more money from her home,
but you know why?
And do practices she can control her time with, listen, time with, she will be more available to her husband, that the husband will not stray.
That's my desire. That's our desire. To be women.
But reality.
I have our own type of reality. That's the life we live in.
Which reality is this?
The reality is that, listen, whether we like it or not, things have changed.
No, those things that have changed are put upon us by our own thoughts and desires. We compare with one another. It is not difficult to eat. It is only difficult to compete with friends. There's too much competition. We are living an unnatural life.
Sir, do you know what?
I proposed this earlier when I got married to my husband, that if I can just be paid a certain amount, it was high because I know I priced myself.
It was high.
It was. Because I had valued what I went to school, I valued what I would be earning if I even had the private practice. If you can pay this so and so amount, I will stay home. And he said, it's not like I cannot afford, I've always been on a salary from my husband, though, that it's not like I can't afford to pay you this amount. Even if I can't afford it immediately, I'll work at it and eventually do. But you are not a woman who would stay at home. And that was a fact. I like to go and come back. It's the responsibility of how my children would do that makes me want to stay back. It's not, I'm not a woman who wants to stay.
You want to go
you can't bottle
within your control. This you're going and coming for you. I think it's within your control.
No, do something else that gives you passion, something else that
nobody stops you from doing that. It must be within a control that. Let's imagine your husband has a good idea. I want to go with you to Dubai. He's been planning it, and then he calls you and you say, "My boss says I can't." What has happened to him? He will say, "I'll make the trip anyway," and someone will join him. He has dreamt of it. See, marriage is a very important institution that the way we live in it determines overall the outcome of our children. Because all this we are discussing, they also weigh on the children. Because the mother becomes a bit irritable when a lot of things are hitting her at the same time.
So you see this example.
Go ahead,
you see this example that you gave about women now going out to work, and that may be the reason why men are seeking other women outside.
No, where they are looking old because they have added an unnatural responsibility.
Yes,
it is not the work that causes it. They are big job and they have added more.
Yes. So the man now seeks the person that can give him the enjoyment and entertainment.
That's a business.
But we know when our mothers used to work, that the men still went and got entertainment. When the women were at home for their pleasure and entertainment, they still wanted beans, and then they wanted salad, and then they wanted... So it is not about us. I think it's about them and what they...
It is not about them, because that woman that you said mother was at home, how was she at home? Was she old at home?
You now look
was she placid? A man sees sex
it doesn't matter if she's
as an adventurous engagement. Some men, some women...
Let me read this tweet.
Mr.
Akatugba, let me read this tweet for you. The woman said, "My husband leaves the house at 7:30 a.m. every day, comes back at 10 to 11 p.m. when the kids are asleep. I ask him, let me take the kids to his parents at Ikorodu for weekends. He won't agree. He's always lucky." So the point is that she also knows that he wants time, that she would like to create time for both of them. But he won't allow their children to go elsewhere. And she doesn't have that time to be this woman you want her to be.
There's no even space, no
privacy. There's no space. There's no privacy for that. You have people in the house. You have grandma in the house. Well, listen, let us talk real. I live in the house, and I mean, as much as I try really hard, to be very, very caring and everything. But it is so hard. I don't like to do my nails because when I'm in the kitchen, it really bothers me, and the water gets in there, and I have issues. I don't like doing my nails. Number one. Number two, I come from a family where we are plus size in my family. Trust me, it's not easy. It's a struggle to maintain that way. Many of us, I have a few aunties that are not plus size, but I mean, many of us are plus size, so it's not easy. And I try really hard to maintain myself. It's not. And my husband looks very young. They'll go outside and say, "This your husband is very fine. I'm not getting hang by your uncle. This your husband is very fine. I'm not getting hair so big with your hair, what hair so But listen, it's not easy, Mr. Akatugba. And we expect that man understand where we are as a woman in this season per time. So maybe when the children are a bit older, maybe things will be more available like YK. To be wearing bump shots and be doing small makeup and be throwing around. Maybe that time will come. But as of today, there are irresponsibilities in the house too. I have house help, but I can't be going naked in the house when I have house help in the house now.
Okay.
I can't be going around with bomb shop when I have house help and there's nobody can come in the house.
When you go upstairs, don't go to your bedroom. Pay your bomb shop.
I'm in my bedroom. It's not here to jail.
Okay. Let's have the house upstairs. The ones that don't have upstairs.
What I want is bedroom.
Okay,
Two bedroom.
I like this part of it. Now let us get. There's a call to the men in this program today that understand us, so that you can pass through this phase with us. But don't forget, that phase that the man is passing now is the youth of your life that is also going, because the old age of the natural one, brought in by hormonal changes or menopause, will soon hit. He has condoned you here. Where he's hoping that better will come, what's going to happen?
That won't happen.
Menopause can start, your body can begin misbehave. The man said, a Ghanaian man said, my wife is like a witch.
Why?
I can't understand that anymore. I measure here, I'm cold. I touch here, I'm hot. I don't know what to do. I'm now confused. He had condoned her in period of child weaning. When he thought, let us now have bliss, another thing sets in.
Menopause is strong.
I always tell my wife, I say, let me enjoy the sex of the youth, because the old one, not the sweet. Let's do it now. Let's focus.
Okay, I don't understand now. So what I understand now is that the man as the hunter needs to know what he's catching. So if you catch an animal that wiggles and wiggles, exactly, you should know. Thank you. You should know the animal that you are catching and understand the traits and attributes of that animal, and then you find a way. What I would like for you to do today is say, okay, I'm a man with entertainment and needs and whatever, but this is the phase that my wife is passing through. How do I adjust my entertainment and my desires to match where we are right now?
Okay.
And then concerning that menopause thing, women have upgraded in so many ways. They are taking care of themselves in so many ways. Now they have the time. There are no children all over them. They are using medication, nutrition, and exercise, to take care of themselves. So he will meet her there, and they will have all the fun. But right now, we're taking care of children.
I have seen message from my husband. Let me read it. Your husband has replied me. So he says that, what of men? Okay, let me just report myself here. From his message, what he's trying to say is that he actually encourages me to exercise with him.
Yeah.
He wakes me up in the morning to exercise. When I come back from work in the evening, he says, let's go and exercise. And I always refuse because I'm tired. So he's like, what of when men understand the phase and try to help the women, and the women are refusing?
Yeah.
I know. Me, I'm tired because it's been a long day. I want to really raise my feet and just lie on my bed. When I say, Jalo, train, let's go and train. Uncle, I don't want to train. I'm tired.
Yeah, I want help.
There's a phase.
I just want to
call somebody. That kind of situation.
In everything you do, you keep... Okay, you want to say something?
No, I'm saying that.
In everything you do, you have always called for the man's understanding. I hope that you also remember that he's making that effort so that to chisel out the things he's saying that makes being with you a labor. It is difficult to want to be with your wife and see it as a task. So he's cultivating, but you're also twatting. He's not thinking of the problem you face. He's thinking of his entertainment. So he wants to go and train so you won't put on weight, so that I won't dislike, I won't begin to feel bad about you. He's not telling you directly, but as you are resenting and refusing, he's being disappointed. Wow. And when those things start showing, he will now respond by just keeping quiet. Some men will keep quiet and do what they will do. Today, you see a lot of masturbation among men. It's so high that it's becoming a pandemic. Yes. Masturbation
This one is all making me laugh.
That's what everybody's doing now.
It is COVID that is pandemic, Jerry.
Because a gentleman would rather resort to something more seen as unsinful. I didn't get involved with that, not because it costs money to have a side chick. So if you don't have the resources, you respect yourself and have your side phone for your masturbation, which they do. In other circumstances, side chicks, some are so not expensive because they actually will take care of the man. That's why in these days, men have become more polygamous than before. Because it is easier now to have 4 women than when women were not working. These 4 women have jobs, they have money. They are not looking for money, they are looking for the warmth that relationship brings. So men who you think, oh, we are helping each other, I've removed the body for him, you're giving him more room to be available now, because tasks make a man focus. When he has no responsibilities have been reduced, and the women in his life are financially well-to-do, they take care of him. That's why in Europe, they disappoint each other. They don't know that polygamy is rife in Europe. In Britain, friends have 4 women who are actively working, who by fashion don't ask each other for money. So having a date with them doesn't cost. What makes a man slow down in women chasing is the responsibility that today we are taking from them.
So I think the answer is now give them the responsibility.
Let them take, so that you can be beautiful for them. You are carrying the wahala and you are looking old. The man is no more desiring you. What you thought you were investing in, another woman is already sucking him because you are no more appealing.
A bad wife or a...
Please, I need to read this Chidima Kasmia needs help.
Okay.
It says now the guest has said exactly what I'm going through in my marriage. I hardly see my wife as enticing, but a call from my female friend, boom. And he says, please, what can I do? My marriage is drifting away. So, please,
these are serious stuff.
Yes, give Chidima. Chidima is a man
Who
needs help.
Yes, Chidima.
Before his
side chick takes his wife home.
Boom.
And you see that if I want to advise Chidima, the things that are making him to be like this are happening to his wife naturally. So you have to see that, Chidima, one of the undertaking of marriage is that God Almighty looked everything and told the man, love your wife as a commandment, not an option, not a choice, not whether she look old or young, not whether she's responding to you the way you want. So Chidima, as an act of loving your wife, is part of the sacrifice required. Okay. So we must suffer long to ensure that we carry our wife to that glorious day. We must, because it is a commandment. It's not a choice we make. That's why men who have not come to loving their wife have not started marriage.
I don't think that's the answer Chidima wants to
No, I'm coming. I'm teaching Chidima to go into the realm of love, because we are not able to control his wife looking old. Because there's nothing I can do. The woman is going to naturally have these challenges.
Age.
And it will surely begin to age. As she's moving in her aging process. That's why I don't like them say age with the grace. Now, they are not aging with what? Less grace. No. The second part is that he should look at his wife and sit his wife down. Tell your wife to excite you a bit more. Men need it. It makes us live well. If not for women, our life would have drained out of us. When we see you beautiful like that, some spark come into human life.
that is why when you came here, you say, yeah, it's too
I was enjoying, I was enlivening myself by commending you.
Yes.
Can I ask a little bit controversial question?
Come and sit here, let me sit there.
Let's just say...
doesn't have heart attack.
Let's just say the wife doesn't excite you much. Yeah. But can the man put himself in a space where he gets excitement from women? Not do anything with them, just the fact that he's in their midst, and then takes the excitement home. Boom!
Yes, that's what the Quran says. It says when you see a woman and the Quran says when you desire a woman, turn to your wife, because what you desire in her is at home in your wife.
Beautiful.
Everything. So
when he now turn, what he see is not as appealing as what turned him to her. He gets heartbroken. He gets into the woman. You know, a lot of men, after the first round, they can no longer gain any erection because of they only summon energy to have that erection. Well, they should do as many as possible.
They can, as many as they can.
It's a very beautiful. I'm sorry. I apologize.
But there's more to marriage than
what
erection.
I'm saying, marriage is a wholesome enterprise that we have trivialized for long. Why is marriage going extinct abroad?
Okay, we have been talking about what turns men on. What turns women on?
Yes, sir.
What turns them on is emotion. No, it's a woman's emotion turns her on the words she hears and the care she receives.
They're not saying those words. Yes.
So that's why you are looking old, because you have left. You have not allowed us to care for you. You have taken your own care by yourself.
So the reason why we're looking old is because the men are not saying the words they should be saying because
they're not giving you the manure that you need to flourish.
Exactly.
Some men are reactionary. When I'm not pleased, they just say it. Some men gets home. Why is this place dusty? Why? What? They start shouting from the gate.
Yes.
If
then they'll see the wife.
sweet,
so you never had your bath. Do you know what the time is? Yeah. It's disgusting because what he saw in the office are the decorated ornaments.
But not put house.
Why his wife at home is busy taking care of children. She has not even had time for herself.
Yes.
The man just hit home. Oh, no wig. No. Oh, so he sees a black and white television.
So you've gone back to the man. Now we're talking of the woman and her own desires and the things that she finds appealing.
Thank you for my food. Very nice cooking.
Yes.
That will encourage you. I love to cook for my husband, and I like to serve him.
Oh, no.
And then you go and forget to say nice food. The next day, I'll just give him.
Okay, men, repent. We are sorry about that.
He has just been married just a year or so.
Chidiba, you have just started.
Chidiba, you don't have discipline.
Yeah, Chidiba, you have to work hard at this one.
Tracy says, I love your guest today. He's really an expert in relationships. Please, bring him more on this show.
Me, I don't know if I've got... So what you're saying now is that exercise,
Exercise.
all your responsibilities, give it to the man. Okay.
Our women today, they carry low. If you do a graphical picture of our women, it's a pathetic picture. Our women of old were better than now. They thought they are now freer, we are civilized. They now carry more load than what our foremothers carried.
Okay, we've heard.
Steve says,
we'll work on it.
This man should be part of the work of your view. It's making too much sense.
Why can't I just think it's...
Yeah. Any more tweets, Nima?
There are plenty.
I can take it if you like it. Just laugh here.
Oluwayomi says, good morning, I love what you do. Please let us touch on the men also looking good and keeping their bodies. Some women also care about that. Me, I care.
It happened. It happened. A man said to me that his wife has not kissed him. As he was talking to me,
you knew why.
The fuse he was blowing across the table. So I now told him, have you found out why? Because every good thing is desirable.
Yes.
I said, Oga, I don't think you are hygienic in your mouth. He said, what? I say, yes. Because even now talking to me, because to kiss you should be a pleasure, not a misfortune. A woman is kissing you and her eyes are tight. She they feel pains.
They bear
out of say I'm beautifully looking.
I had that issue.
So men don't wash their boxers are dirty. They are not very clean.
Okay,
so it's also affecting women. Being
Mr. Akatugba, don't hear. We've heard, don't hear. We'll work on it. Women, we work on it, Abi. We work on it. And men too, they should work on it.
You said, did you exercise when your husband calls you?
I don't know. I'll try. Yeah, it's not easy. I'll try. It's not easy, YK. Get tired. Okay, today's YK is your birthday. We have to celebrate you. It's last Thursday. Birthday is on Monday.
Yes.
That's when we are going to have a party. But we have to give you the final gift for today. Yeah, who is this fine baby?
Are you the birthday gift?
He's the fine baby. Who is coming?
Justina.
Mr. Akatugba's smile is bigger than us.
When I saw good
She was here to feel Mr. Akatugba's
His
eyes.
smile became much wider.
Please, she's our bro.
Oh, this is a show. Okay.
Okay, let us see what's inside it.
Hey, look.
Wow. Looks like a kimono.
Wow. Hey, look.
I should help you.
Okay, you can stand up and show
looking
us.
at this
My mic is falling down.
Careful.
Careful.
There you go.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Upside down. It's upside down. It's upside down. It's upside down.
It's so pretty.
It's upside down, YK.
Oh, hey, Bo.
It's a kimono.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that pretty?
And it matches what I'm wearing today.
No, it doesn't. YK, please, it doesn't match it.
It doesn't.
It matches the color, just the style of the... You got big...
Except me. Oh.
It's so pretty. It is so
Wow.
nice. Love the colors.
You like?
Oh,
Beautiful.
she loves, obviously.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. I'll wear it on the show.
So what we've been doing since the beginning of May, every Tuesday and Thursday, we give YK a gift because she's going to be 60 on Monday, 24th of May.
Actually, look,
yeah.
That's why she said, but you don't understand why.
She knows the old age.
There's no children.
Marvelous.
It is marvelous.
I want to congratulate you. It's marvelous in my sight.
You guys, what they are telling us is that YK's way is the way to go.
Yes. YK, we can't have you and be like, we don't want to work on it. We have you as an inspiration.
Yeah.
We work on it. Okay, that's all we can take on the show.
Beautiful.
YK, the next time we see you by God's grace on Monday, I know you're not, we'll bring you on the show on Monday. It's going to be your birthday. We'll celebrate you the best we can. And we're going to go. Thank you very much, Mr. Akatugba.
It's a pleasure
for
to
joining
have
us.
been here
We
with
learned
you.
a lot from you today. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.